Alex arrived at the hospital just in time, and his appearance saved the despairing Grace. After meeting Grace, he used another god-level skill of the system, the Eye of Truth, to observe her, and was surprised to find that all of her stats were quite high, and she had exceptional business talent. With Grace's excellence confirmed, Alex smiled and chose her as his first conquest target. Desperate Grace saw hope when she saw Alex, and she asked him to use the 5,000 universal coins to pay for the medical expenses. At this moment, the system's choice function was triggered again, and Alex looked at 3 clearly different outcomes: giving a check to obtain a level 50 martial arts skill, telling Grace that he had spent all 5,000 universal coins to obtain a god-level business skill, or refusing to lend money to decrease Grace's favor towards him and increase her favor towards the protagonist. Alex was surprised to find that among the choices provided by the system, there was always a third option that was favorable to the protagonist but detrimental to him. Could it be that there was a world consciousness interfering with the system to maintain the protagonist and harm him? Alex was very anxious and urgently asked the system, but was reassured that it was not the case. He chose to explain to Grace that he had already spent the 5,000 UC. Just as Grace was sinking into another round of despair, Alex smiled and pulled out the check with the payee's name filled in with his dog-like name, and it happened to be Grace's name. Grace was extremely grateful to Alex, and Alex, who received an increase in Grace's favorability, felt very satisfied. However, just as Grace ran off to make the payment, a familiar voice with an arrogant and rude tone suddenly entered Alex's ears. It was the voice of the novel's male protagonist, Nathan Gaylor. How did Nathan appear at the hospital? According to the plot in the novel, he should still be on the mountain until the story develops to chapter 20, where he meets the heir of the Miller family, Aaliyah, and gains support of the Miller family by cursing Mrs. Miller. But how did he end up here? Countless speculations arose in Alex's mind. Could it be that the plot had advanced prematurely? At this moment, Nathan was very angry. He knew that he had extraordinary healing abilities. If he could cure Mrs. Miller in the ward and gain her support, he would win the inheritance from his sister. So he treated the security guard at the door of the ward extremely rudely, trying to force his way into the ward. Once he successfully went in and cured Mrs. Miller, these lowly and inferior people would be nothing. As Alex couldn't bear to watch Nathan's rude behavior, the system once again presented 3 options: to help the guards fight Nathan and gain a tough skin, to destroy the male protagonist's halo of wisdom and disrupt the plot, or to become the male protagonist's lackey and ultimately suffer. Alex ignored the absurd third option and chose option 2. Alex stepped forward and took out his phone to film Nathan's unreasonable behavior, threatening to call the public security department to deal with Nathan. He successfully scared Nathan away. Alex ignored Nathan's threats before leaving, as without the halo of wisdom, Nathan's stupid behavior would be difficult to succeed. Alex politely accepted the security guard's apology and gained Raider points as his favor increased. He was about to leave happily when a sharp and sarcastic female voice sounded. A familiar woman looked at Alex with disdain and said, "What are you doing here? I already gave you the money to leave my sister alone. Don't even think about taking the money and turning around, or else I'll have 1,001 ways to deal with you." As Alex just destroyed the wisdom of Halo of the arrogant male lead, the plot has changed. The proud and willful Rose appeared again. How will Alex deal with her malicious speculation? And will he be involved in the entanglement with the first female lead, Aaliyah, again? Stay tuned for our next episode for an exciting commentary.